We seem to be off course. Everything looks strange, even the ocean. It doesn't look right. We can't tell where we are. Everything is wrong. We can't find west. On December 5th, 1945, 5 U.S. Navy bombers, known as Flight 19, vanished during a routine training mission over the Atlantic. 14 crew members, highly trained, experienced, gone. A rescue plane sent to find them disappeared, as well, along with 13 more men. Not a single body or piece of wreckage was ever recovered. This wasn't an isolated incident. Over the past century, hundreds of planes, ships, and lives have mysteriously vanished in a specific zone of the western Atlantic Ocean, a place now known as the Bermuda Triangle. The world has tried to make sense of it. Was it weather? Magnetic? Interference? Human error? Or something else entirely? Some call it science. Others call it a government cover-up, an ancient curse, or even a rip in the fabric of space-time. But at its core, one question remains. Is the Bermuda Triangle a real, unexplained phenomenon? Or is it simply the world's most famous myth? Let's go back to where it all begins. Not with conspiracy, not with fear, but with facts. Before we can uncover the truth, we need to understand what and where the Bermuda Triangle actually is. The Bermuda Triangle, also known as the Devil's Triangle. It's not officially recognized on maps, but its name is whispered across generations like a legend or a warning. Geographically, it's a triangular area in the western part of the North Atlantic Ocean, bordered by 3 key points: Miami, Florida, San Juan, Puerto Rico, and Bermuda, the remote British island shrouded in its own mysteries. Within this region, an estimated 500,000 square miles of open sea holds, a reputation that few other places on Earth can match. It's larger than Germany, and deeper than most parts of the Pacific. This seemingly ordinary stretch of ocean has been the site of countless disappearances, ships, planes, submarines, and the people on board, all vanishing without a trace. What makes this place so feared? It's not just the number of incidents. It's the consistency, the location, the bizarre nature of the disappearances, many of them occurring in clear skies with no distress signals, and often in experienced hands. Sailors have long spoken of sudden storms, bizarre magnetic disturbances, and invisible forces pulling their vessels off course. Pilots report instrument failures, time distortions, and even the sense that the ocean beneath them isn't behaving like an ocean should. Over the decades, patterns have emerged, but no 2 cases are exactly alike. And no theory explains them all. This place doesn't just take people, it erases them. And yet, to understand just how deep the mystery goes, we need to look at the ones who vanished, the ones who became part of the legend. Let's revisit the most chilling disappearances ever recorded, the ones that started it all, the Thais. Bermuda Triangle isn't just a zone on a map, it's a graveyard of legends. Its mystery was born from stories, and these are the ones that made the world stop and ask, how is this even possible? Flight 19, the one that started. It was supposed to be a routine training mission. December 5th, 1945. 5 Navy TBM Avenger torpedo bombers, Flight 19, took off from Fort Lauderdale. Each plane had full fuel tanks and experienced pilots. But within 90 minutes, radio contact grew chaotic. The leader, Lieutenant Charles Taylor, reported, "We can't find west. Everything is wrong. We can't be sure of any direction. Even the ocean doesn't look right." As their transmissions faded, panic turned to silence. All 5 planes gone. No signal, no wreckage. Then, in a shocking twist, a PBM Mariner rescue. Plane sent to find them also vanished, with 13 men on board. USS Cyclops, 309 souls. Lost. The largest loss of life in U.S. Navy history not related to combat happened in 1918. The USS Cyclops, a massive coal transport ship, disappeared without a trace on its way from Barbados to Baltimore, the sea was calm. No SOS signal was ever received. With 309 crew and passengers, the ship simply evaporated. Even today, no wreckage has ever been found. Flight DC-3 vanished with 32 on board in 1948. A Douglas DC-3 passenger plane flying from Puerto Rico to Miami sent one last message 50 miles from its destination. "We are on course. All is well." They were never seen again. No distress signal. No bodies. No debris. The Carroll A. Deering, ghost ship of the Triangle. In 1921, the schooner Carroll A. Deering ran aground on the coast of North Carolina. But when rescuers boarded the ship, it was completely abandoned. The galley was prepared for a meal. The crew's belongings were untouched, but not a single person was on board. To this day, no one knows what happened to the crew. These disappearances have no clear connection. Different decades, different technologies, different conditions. And yet, all share one thing. They vanished in the same stretch of ocean. So what could be causing these disappearances? Let's explore the most common and most controversial theories. For decades, scientists and skeptics have offered logical explanations for the disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle. They say the mystery can be solved with data. But can it? Let's examine the most popular theories and where they fall short. Sudden weather changes. The triangle lies in a zone prone to violent storms, hurricanes, and microbursts. Sudden downdrafts of air that can crash planes or sink ships in minutes. But many incidents happen during clear skies. Flight 19, perfect weather. The USS Cyclops, calm seas. So, while storms may explain some cases, they don't explain them all. The Gulf Stream. The Gulf Stream is a powerful ocean current that moves at up to 6 feet per second. If a ship or plane crashes into the sea, debris could be swept away in hours, or even minutes. But here's the problem. That still doesn't explain the lack of distress signals, or the fact that entire aircraft vanish without a trace. Often, mid-flight methane gas eruptions. Some researchers believe massive methane hydrate bubbles may erupt from the ocean floor. These would reduce the density of the water, causing ships to lose buoyancy and sink almost instantly. It's plausible, but doesn't account for aircraft disappearing above water. Methane doesn't cause navigation failures, nor does it explain time loss or distorted instruments reported by pilots. Magnetic anomalies. Some maps of the region show magnetic deviation zones, which could interfere with compasses and cause navigational errors. But modern aircraft have multiple redundant systems. And again, many of these disappearances involved veteran pilots and highly trained crews. Could they all have simply gotten lost? A pattern that doesn't add up. Each of these theories may account for one or two pieces of the puzzle, but not one can explain the entire picture. No single explanation ties the weather, the technology failures, the missing wreckage, and the human factor together. Logic tries to comfort us, but sometimes the facts refuse to cooperate. And when logic fails, speculation begins. That's where things get strange. When science runs out of answers, imagination takes over. And in the case of the Bermuda Triangle, the lack of concrete explanations has opened the door to some of the most bizarre, fascinating, and controversial theories ever proposed. The Atlantis theory. Some believe that the Bermuda Triangle is the final resting place of Atlantis, the legendary lost civilization. According to this theory, the Atlanteans possessed advanced energy technology capable of manipulating magnetic fields. These energy crystals, now sunken and unstable, are said to still emit electromagnetic pulses from the ocean floor, interfering with modern instruments and navigation. Is it just mythology, or did Plato know something we didn't? Time. Warps and portals pilots have reported strange phenomena. Time loss, distorted clouds, tunnel-like formations in the sky. One of the most famous accounts comes from Bruce Jernan, who claimed to fly through a strange cloud formation. and arrived 100 miles ahead of schedule with missing time and no fuel explanation. Could the triangle be home to a naturally occurring wormhole, a portal through time or space? Or is it man-made? Aliens and USOs. For decades, the region has been a hotspot for UFO sightings, and more recently, USOs, unidentified submerged objects. Some theorists believe extraterrestrials are using the area as an underwater base, conducting experiments and abductions under the cover of deep ocean silence. Radar blips. Objects moving faster than physics should allow. Lights beneath the water, too many to ignore, too consistent to dismiss. Military experiments and cover-ups. Some researchers suggest that the triangle is used for classified military tests, and that some disappearances were actually accidents involving experimental tech. The Philadelphia experiment, though allegedly debunked, adds fuel to this theory, involving teleportation, time travel, and manipulation of magnetic fields by the U.S. Navy. Could the government be testing something they're not ready to reveal? And are these stories encouraged to distract the public from the truth, or a mix of all? Perhaps it's not one theory, but a perfect storm of natural danger, human error, military secrecy, and something beyond our understanding. We want answers. But sometimes, the deeper we dig, the more questions we uncover. But what if the entire mystery is a myth? Let's step back and ask, could the Bermuda Triangle just be a global illusion? For all the drama and legend surrounding the Bermuda Triangle, some researchers argue that there's nothing mysterious at all. In 1975, author Larry Couchet published The Bermuda Triangle Mystery, Solved, where he reviewed original sources, weather reports, and government records. His conclusion? The mystery is a myth, built on sloppy research, exaggerated claims, and pure fiction. Couchet found that many reported incidents either never happened the way they were described or had perfectly logical explanations that were ignored by sensationalist media. For example, Flight 19, poor weather, miscommunication, and a disoriented flight leader. The USS Cyclops, possibly overloaded and lost during a storm, far from the triangle's center. The Carol A. Deering, likely a mutiny or navigational error. Statistically, the Bermuda Triangle doesn't have a higher rate of disappearances than any other heavily traveled area of ocean. According to the U.S. Coast Guard and NOAA, the real danger isn't mystery. It's human error, bad weather, and technical failure, and... Yet, if the triangle is just another stretch of sea, why do the stories persist? Why do pilots still report strange clouds? Why do radar operators see unexplainable objects? Why does the myth refuse to die? Maybe it's not about what's real, it's about what we choose to believe. Because sometimes belief is stronger than fact, and mystery is more powerful than truth. So what's the final verdict? Is the Bermuda Triangle fact or fiction? The answer might not be what you expect. So, what is the truth behind the Bermuda Triangle? Is it just a myth, inflated by bad reporting and sensational books, or is there something truly unexplained beneath those waves? The answer depends on how you see the world. Skeptics argue the facts are clear. Storms, human error, and ocean currents explain everything, but believers point to the eerie consistencies, the missing time, the magnetic anomalies, and the things we still can't prove or disprove. One thing is certain, the mystery persists, even. With modern satellites, GPS, and global communication, strange incidents still occur, stories still surface, and the triangle still captures the imagination of millions. Maybe the truth lies not in the data, but in the questions we keep asking, because the most powerful mysteries are the ones we can't fully solve and can't stop thinking about.